skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2024 ski test. We got a Fischer Ranger 116 for you today. This ski is a carryover model from last year, so same graphics, same build, everything like that. Remains a very solid option for those that spend most of their time either in or in search of deep and fresh snow. This 116 does a fantastic job at staying on top of pretty much anything on the planet. There's not going to be a whole lot that you're going to sink in too deep on this thing. It has the width, the rocker, and a relatively lighter build that helps it kind of stay on top, float, drift, play, smear, any of that fun stuff, free ride oriented, in deep snow, big mountains. This is going to be the tool for the job. It's pretty specific and one-dimensional in that regard though, so we're not dealing with something that has a whole lot of versatility built in, certainly more specific to the deeper and fresher snow. That said, we've had it on some softer groomers here in Vermont. It does great, turns really, really well, but definitely more meant for that deeper snow and bigger mountain faces as well. They are built with a blend of poplar and beech in the wood core. Those stringers run vertically along the ski, and then they get their shaped Titanal laminate in here as well. As the widest of the Ranger line, it's going to get the shortest Titanal plate, basically just slightly longer than the binding area. Has a little bit of a V-shaped cut in the front and the back, but not really enough to make a huge difference in terms of the metal extending over the edges and making a difference in the carving. Really, this is kind of a glorified binding platform here. It does have their shaped TI V-cut here as well, so these notched out areas do allow for a more consistent flex from tip to tail. But overall, mainly wood in this ski, and that does make it on the more flexible side. They also use a thinner core profile than what we see in the Ranger 108, so this next step up in terms of width does get that thinner core profile, and that does make it more flexible and more amenable to kind of more playful skiing in deeper and softer snow. This is the 180 here, and on the scale it is right over 2,000 grams, 2,060, which, even though it's over 2,000, given kind of the overall volume of the ski, is still pretty light. And then when we get to rocker and taper, it is, there's some good splay here. Relatively flat camber underfoot. We're not seeing a whole lot of skis that fall into that full rocker category. Having just even that much camber underfoot does give you better edge grip in technical situations. Instead of having the tail wash out, if you're on a fully rockered ski, you do get some grip out of this thing. But pretty monster rocker here in the tip, all the way down here. When you decamber it, that rocker starts well down here, leads to pretty dramatic splay, and then more spoony in the tip versus rounded. So very kind of flat, square, just that big shovel face here. And that's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to flotation. And then we see a good amount of tail rocker as well. So decamber starts down here, decent splay, would even be a little bit more, but it is cut off a little bit. And then, pretty flat and square in terms of the overall shape, and that's just going to give it a smoother feel overall. Just easy to float through the snow. No problems there whatsoever. 19-meter turn radius in this one as well, so that kind of gives the skier a little bit more, emphasis on dictating the shape and duration of the turn. It's kind of that middle ground there, but excellent floater. Great in powder. It's not going to be your daily driver for most situations. If you find yourself using this thing in a daily situation, good for you. You found a wonderful, wonderful place to ski. But for most other people, this is going to be a soft snow and powder specialist with other skis to use on most other days. But make sure you check out this Fischer Ranger 116 here at SkiEssentials.com, and we'll see you out there on the hill. Bye.